Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know if you're new to my channel, I like to go in deep within my reading. So I like to look at everything, which means I look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and we see how they play out as karmic themes along with everything else. So if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. It's the underlining energy. Like I said, that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. And when you're dealing with people that have shadows, we want to know that because people tend to show us facades, their mask when they have shadows. They're not coming from their true self. And when you know what you're really dealing with, you're able to make better decisions for yourself. And then it's very healing. It's very uh cathartic because you're able to see the situation from a different perception, which allows you to take the focus off of you and more onto the situation. And that's important because a lot of times when we're dealing with people that have spiritual blocks, and if they're our soulmate, they're going to trigger us. And then it's really hard to navigate the relationship because our emotions are too in the way. So again, this is why. And I'm kind of feeling like you're connected to someone that really needs shadow work because I feel like they are not emotionally intelligent at all. And they're probably not doing anything because, again, they are so overstimulated and their emotions are in the way and they just don't know what to do because this person normally strategizes, I feel like. And strategizing tends to be like very scheming to always make sure that they are safe, per se. And safe means like if I navigate the relationship where I make you reach out to me, then I don't have to tell you everything. I don't have to disclose everything. If I bump into you and that this person makes everything easier on themselves so that they don't have to emotionally open up. And I feel like that's a trigger for you. And I feel like, and I don't know why I'm getting this because I haven't even pulled the underlining card yet, but we're gonna see. We are gonna see. Now, again, if you're new to my channel, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you'll find in the description box below. If you're connected to a Scorpio, definitely check out my Scorpio channel. I'm adding a Gemini channel, and I have an all Zodiac Psychic Soul Healer channel that no one ever goes to. I don't know why. Again, no one likes to shuffle through all those different zodiacs. Though I want to give a shout out to Uthapa that is always on my channel, like giving me a thumbs up on the Psychic Soul channel. So thank you for the love. And I want to thank everybody else that has liked, shared, subscribed, and comments. I love the comments. I read them every day. Keep them coming. And again, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to be open to getting a shadow reading. You got to be open to getting it live. But you always have an opportunity to enter into winning. I'm a little backed up right now, but I'll be choosing people again very soon. And I go back to all the videos that I haven't chosen anyone. So don't worry if you're like, well, I wrote the word and it's been 3 videos and you're not even pulling anyone yet. Believe me, I will. Right now, things are pretty tumultuous with my home life, with my husband being in hospice. So, I got to be able to go with the flow. I mean, that's what it's about. And when we are healed, we're actually able to go with the flow of life because, again, life is ever changing. We can't change the environment. We have to change ourselves. So dealing with, people that are able to be patient is very helpful right now for me. And it's actually a spiritual trait to integrate. So again, I want to thank you guys. And I just wanted to let you know what was going on a little bit for all those of you guys that are new to my channel. Okay, let's see what the underlying energy of the video is. Let's see. Someone's acting like they don't care. It's like, and I feel like it's because you don't care. This person's getting triggered. And they really, again, have a lot of anxiety and worry. But again, the word that you're writing in the comment for is apathy. However, it's like, again, you can write anxiety or worry also, because it's, again, people tend to, when they have a mask, when they care a lot and they're not emotionally intelligent, this is how they act. And that's what I felt. Again, never know why spirit opens up the reading the way it does. Sometimes it gives me a little channel that tells me, again, the underlining energy and why. But they're worried, and like, again, not worried to a place that they're actually in grief. And they are, and I feel like knowing that they triggered this situation, I feel like they know that they ruined this connection. You know, I feel like because they know that I gave you nothing, they acted like they didn't care. That's the energy. Yeah, so now they are excessively thinking about it, again, obsessive. And partially it's because I feel like this person has abandonment issues. So you taking your power back is actually just like, again, a trigger for this person, because this person doesn't like themselves to begin with. Anyone that has mass that doesn't want to act like they care about someone that they actually care about just so that they don't have to express feelings is pretty, is pretty broken. It means that at one time within their life, probably their childhood, they expressed their feelings, showed some sort of vulnerability, and they were rejected and reprimanded because of it. So this person, again, does not show it, but they internalize it. So you're not seeing anything, but it doesn't mean that they're not thinking of you. So you might be like, why do I feel this motherfucker? And it's like, and I don't see them calling me, I don't see them doing anything, but why do I feel it? It's because, again, you've put them in a position because they actually put themselves in the position. You just respect yourself. And this person actually is respecting you because they're like, wow, you didn't chase me. You didn't see, they expected to see a different version of you. And that version would have been very easy for them not to like. They could say, well, you see, low vibe. Look, I get breadcrumbed and I don't really care. And this person's chasing me, hunting me down. Yeah, I'll give it to them, but I'll dispose of them too. And this is how I don't have to emotionally invest. So they know that they were wrong because they wanted you to be submissive. They didn't want you to have like an opinion. They wanted you to go along with whatever that they were going to give. And the thing is, I feel like you were like, I don't really understand what you're doing. Like you felt lost in the connection, but now this person feels lost because it's not like they didn't have a connection to you. No one puts in this much effort into not caring like a person that is not emotionally intelligent. It takes a lot of work to act as if you don't care. It means that like every post that goes by, everything. I mean, we all have feelings, we all have emotions. Is that means that this person holds back, deliberately holds back. And that's not really even a comfortable thing to do. It's like where they're depriving themselves when you think about it. And I feel like you did say things to this person, like you knew that you're not giving me anything and you're going to be all defensive about it. You're going to put up your wall and you're going to act like it's my problem. You're going to act like I did something wrong here. Of course you will. You're going to create the illusions like you don't like me. I don't know why, you're going to give the illusion like you don't care. You're going to give the illusion, but someone doesn't try to make someone feel so bad and so little if they really don't care. Someone that doesn't care, you don't feel their energy. They don't put any energy at all into you. This is negative energy. It's toxic energy. And I feel like they know that you're a giver. they know that you're someone that has a lot of love to give, that you're someone that's very emotional. They were hoping that they could, manipulate, send a lot of mixed messages, almost as if they were hurt and broken without ever saying that they were hurt and broken. And that you'd come in and be like the savior, that you would be the fixer, the healer, you know, to do this. So much manipulation. So much manipulation. Again, blamed. And then when you're turning around and you're not making it easy for this person because you're not becoming subservient to them. You're not going to just be submissive. Like you're not going with the flow. And the thing is, you've already shown this. But this person's way then is to normally manipulate and gaslight and then blame you and say, no, no, you're the one. Let's focus on like your reaction. Let's not really focus on what I did. And let's focus on your reaction and how you are actually upset with me or you've cut off your emotions to me. And I feel like that's what would happen. It's like this person is like an energy vampire. It's like they would deliberately trigger you in hopes that you would get really, really angry. And then this way they could stay connected to you. And then the thing is, it's like I feel like for a long time, this is where you went wrong, trying to make this person accountable. It's again when meanwhile they're blaming you and you're trying, and they know damn well what they're doing. They know that they're gaslighting, but they know it that if they play this game long enough, it's like, well, then you really like me. It's not really about what I do or how I make you feel because you still like me. You're still here. So we just go along and play this little game, which by the way, then forms a real toxic connection because you're not going to be emotionally fulfilled with this person. You're never going to be able to be vulnerable with this person. They're never going to be honest and they're going to act like a kid, do whatever they want, when they want, how they want. So it's again, this person, I feel like where you went wrong is you kept trying to make this person be accountable because it's not like they don't have feelings, but it's almost like a person that goes through trauma when they're 8 years old, they kind of stay in that level of consciousness. So if this person was emotionally manipulated and, made to feel bad about expressing their feelings and having emotions when they were 8 years old, that's when they cut those feelings off. That's when they detached from, feeling. And if the person's detached from what they feel, they don't really know what they feel. And then they're coming from what they perceive. And they're coming from, again, their emotions, even though this person's not emotionally intelligent. See, when we come from the ego, a lot of times what fuels the ego is the emotions. It's unconscious. And so this person like always gets in their own way in the relationship. That's what it looks like. It looks like they get triggered by you again being confident, by you having your own life, by you, and they want you to act a certain way and they wanted you to be a certain way. And then when you weren't, I feel like obviously they would punish you. You try to make them accountable and they wouldn't. And so that what this person continually does is avoid. And they avoid by either twisting it, manipulating it, doing substances, checking out, like just not facing it. And the thing is, it's not like they don't have feelings for you. They have feelings for you, but I feel like they almost like don't know what to do with those feelings. They don't know where to put you. They don't, because when this is a soul's connection, it's one that the divine has orchestrated. This person doesn't have any control over it. You don't have any control over it. It just is. and this person wants to control everything. So being that they can control it and they can control you, which is what I'm seeing, it's like what they do is they're like, okay, well then I'm just going to check out. I'm just going to party. I'm not going to feel anything. And it's their way of, again, not dealing. And I feel like they don't want to deal with their own shit because they're insecure. They feel insecure. And when people have shadows, they have a lot of undeveloped parts of themselves. They've parts of themselves that they don't even know who they are. And they don't know who they are because if you're not allowed to feel, or you're like, again told that feeling is bad and you to express, then you're not really engrossed fully, you're not embodied in what you're doing. So then what happens is you're just over time are indifferent. And I feel like this person becomes indifferent in their relationships. In this relationship, they can't become indifferent because it's a soul's relationship. But instead of them like surrendering, they're fighting it. And they're going to fight it with, again, by because they're insecure and then just suppressing their emotions. So that, again, eventually you'll come to them. Maybe you'll be the savior. You'll see how broken I am. You'll see how sad I feel. And then this way, I don't have to disclose anything. And then you just feel like that this person just like doesn't give you anything, but then will give more to like a random person or give more to like an ex. And really, like, not because they want to be with that ex, but almost because there's no emotional connection anymore. And they feel guilty because this person, like, they know that they fucked up that person's life by, playing these same games. What they'll do is they never really shut the door. They never make that last person feel like there's always a chance that they might get back together with that person. And why? Because they're giving that person more attention than they're giving their current relationship. It's just another form of avoidance of, I don't want to deal with what I feel for you, because what I feel for you means I want to give to you. I want to be vulnerable to you. That's what love makes people do. It makes us act irrational. It makes us act crazy. It makes us act all different ways. This person doesn't know what to do with these feelings. So again, what they do is they avoid. So like whether it's pretending that they care about an ex, where I don't feel like they care more about an ex at all, but I just feel like it's like, well, I don't care about you. And logically, maybe if we had kids together, I need to do this. Or logically, because I did X, Y, and Z, I should be nice to you because, that'll make me feel better. Not really for that person. It's just, again, everything's avoidant. At the moment that ex would be like, oh yeah, let's get back together, this person would shut themselves down and be like, nope, because that's not really what they want. The raw emotion is almost overstimulating for this person, that their first reaction is to avoid it so that they don't have to feel, which is crazy, right? Because it really does make you feel like shit that this person like would avoid and act like they don't care and do all these things. When meanwhile, it's like there's a whole lot of passion there, but that passion is overstimulating for this person and makes them feel like they don't have any control. And for them, they have to be in control. And so let's go deeper and see. The inner child, like, and like this person needs a lot of inner child healing. They have a lot, they need a lot of inner child healing. There's a lesson to be learned in this because I feel like it's like this person, like obviously there needs to be a lesson. If you're like, I'm connected to someone that's emotionally handicapped, they're not giving me anything. If anything, the feelings are so intense for this person that this person lashes out, and they lash out where they, you know, it even said here that they lash out. Here I feel that there is still an emotional connection between you and your ex. There's that one. Again, there's where again there was that negative, but there was something with lash out. Can't find it right now, but it's like where this person again is getting very triggered. You're both getting very triggered. And it's so, like you said, your person's way when they get triggered is to avoid. They again talk to other people, whether that's insignificant, whether that's an ex, whether it's again people that they don't really have feelings for. They drink, they have addictions. That's another way. They may overwork. They do a lot of different things to avoid their feelings. And I feel like for you, you're like, okay, well, I'm stuck with an emotionally handicapped person that's not giving me anything. Why? But I do feel like you're evolved and you realize that our relationships do come into our lives to teach us. At this point, you're like, because you're like, you're not doing anything. It's like you want me to do all the work in this connection, and they do. They want to pretend that they can't do. They want to avoid it because people usually that's what they do. They go into a relationship, they act like they really care, but it's surface because they don't really know the person, right? So they have no problem love bombing. They have no problem in the beginning of the relationship when they don't know the person. But the moment that that relationship gets real, the moment that it gets deep, they tend to check out. They have major intimacy issues because, again, intimacy requires open, transparent communication, something that this person was told really not to do. I feel like growing up. I also feel like in them being transparent, they would get emotional sometimes. And that was also seen as a bad trait. So it's technically like just really impossible. And it is triggering for you. I kind of feel like for some of you, you guys were brought up with a parent that emotionally was unavailable, and it's because they couldn't. It's again almost like the same disorder that this person has, that this karmic person has, a parent has. So if you had a parent that never showed up, never emotionally was able to show vulnerability, was never able to express themselves in a way that made you feel safe, made you feel like you were able to be vulnerable, that you were really supported. Well, that's what this person is actually doing, I feel like. That's for some of you. The lesson is learning how to deal with these type of people and realizing that they're not being able to be emotionally vulnerable has nothing to do with you, that has to do with them. And again, when we grow up in an environment where a parent or someone that's taking care of us that should be able to express love doesn't show us love, we tend to think that there's something wrong with us. And this is what this person was kind of trying to do, was creating that whole dynamic. Now, did they know that they were doing that? I mean, I feel like sometimes yes, sometimes no. Clear the illusions of the 3D world. Don't take everything at face value. There's a lot more going on spiritually and energetically than you can see. So it's almost like I feel like no, this person doesn't really understand what's going on because it's like clear the illusion of the 3D world. So to them, they're like, you're difficult. They're projecting a lot of their wounds onto you. For you, you're like, you don't like me. You're like, go out of your way to make me feel like I'm nothing. You go out of your way or you care about me, but you still go out of your way, and it's like you're a mean person. Like there's like you want to hurt me. No, I feel like this person's hurt and they project a lot of their shit onto you because you stir up feelings and emotions that they haven't felt in a long time, that they've detached from a long time ago, because they're able to navigate their life better when they don't have to really have feelings. So that's what that is. It's again, they need to clear the illusion of the 3D world. And possibly you too, where but all soulmates doesn't mean that, that it's perfect, even if we feel like that person feels like home. They feel like home because they're a spiritual connection. They're part of your soul family, helping you to evolve. So they were supposed to come into your life for that purpose. I want to let my guard down with you, but fear makes me lash out in self-defense. And that's where it felt like this person lashed out. And I said that before and I couldn't find it. But here it is again. It's like you trigger them. You trigger them, and it's because you make them feel shit. You make them question stuff. It's again, you make them feel inadequate. And possibly just because you don't fall into their little traps. You don't, you're not as easy to read. They have feelings. They can't navigate what's going on because they get overstimulated with their own emotions. Because once they feel like they're losing control, what this person does is they get in their own way. And they get in their own way by sabotaging themselves, by lashing out at you, where you could just be asking a question like, hey, let's go to a play, let's go to dinner, let's do this. And this person will get triggered and they'll say something like, I don't know why you try and tell me what to do all the time. When meanwhile you're like, hey, I'm asking you what to do. And like I said, I feel like it's because when they get triggered, they revert back to like the previous trauma. But this trauma goes deep. It goes from child all the way into childhood. So they have a wall up. And so it's almost like, again, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know where to put you. Instead of, you don't need to put me anywhere. It's of relationships or something that happened over time by giving time. This person like wants to do things their way, but their way doesn't make any sense at all. It's like they don't get good results from their way. These two fell out. We're going to see what they are. I've been so grounded all my life. It's hard for me to trust the spiritual element of our connection. Yet I know it exists. Now, I feel like they might not know that it's a spiritual, like the word spiritual, because I kind of feel like this person is extremely grounded. Um, like it says here. So they haven't really been taught about soulmates and twin flames. And if they were, they never really believed in it. But what they see is, well, I obviously know it exists because I can feel you all the time and I can see you all the time. I never had this before. But I don't know what to do with it. It's overstimulating me. I want it, but I don't want it. They're holding on to a cognitive dissonance. So like nothing is going to happen as long as they stay in that energy, by the way. It's like, again, they know that it's there, but I don't know what to do with it. And the other one is our inner child are crying right now. We both need to comfort them and become the parents. So the lesson that needs to be learned clearly is some inner child wounds need to be healed. Until this blockage can be worked through. Because what we see here is this person shut down, they have a lot of anxiety, they don't know what to do, they don't know where to put you, they're used to strategizing, and it's again, you're not making it easy. They're used to people caving. You're not caving. They have a lot of anxiety. When a person is in anxiety, they're in fight, flight, or freeze. They don't know what the hell is going on. So, and that's actually when they're always going to come from their past traumas too. When you're in fight, flight, or freeze, you're not in the logical, analytical mind. You're going to come from that reaction. That reaction is automatic, and it was created in childhood. So if that's when this person is going to get triggered, you would want to be vulnerable. You would want to talk through it. But what this person does is they avoid. They numb themselves. And I feel like this triggers you because again, you grew up with somebody that did this. And it's also emotionally, you feel like I never get what I need emotionally. I'm always the one that gives, and then whatever I give doesn't seem to be enough, and it's not enough. And that's the inner child wound, like almost expecting to get a different result from a person that emotionally just doesn't know. They just don't know how to do it. I mean, your emotions are the gateway to spiritual healing. Your relationships are all about the universe helping you to heal because they bring people into your life to help you heal by showing you a different perception of yourself, of making you go deeper and deeper. And this person, I feel like, is so used to wearing a mask, they don't even know who they are. It's like, who are you underneath that mask? I don't know. There's nothing there except for a mask. Because again, it was all created from survival. The person wasn't allowed to have emotions. They weren't allowed to express themselves. So you expressing yourself, you having feelings and needing love back, it's overstimulating. But again, it brings you back to a wound. Not all relationships we're supposed to be with. Sometimes they're just lessons. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Again, magic. You found your magic. I feel like some of you guys became very intuitive. Again, you found your magic where you put your energy into yourself. Naive. I feel like partially it was because you're naive, like just thought that the soul connection was going to be enough, that this person was going to treat you the way that you treated them. And you thought that they were like you. And that's not, you possibly never met somebody that had a lot of wounds before. I had a lot of shadows before that you had a deep connection to. So, which is what I'm feeling. But that innocence allows you to go into your imagination mind, by the way, when we're naive, again, we don't hold on to any negative energy. So we're actually in a very high vibration. We're only coming from a place of love. And that's when you're able to manifest. And I feel like you had feelings for this person, you have love for this person. You could clearly see that they struggle with their own demons. And I feel like, again, you put the energy into yourself, but I feel like you always had, you know, whatever this magic is. For some, it's or you're very artistic. You're getting into like your music, you're getting into your art, you're getting into, whatever it is. And it's opening up a whole other life for you. And it's teaching you again about yourself, that you're not broken. Those empty parts of you actually are big parts of you. They help you to create your life. Shame, that's a biggie. I'm not gonna lie. When we grow up in an environment where our parent shames us, it makes us feel as if, we're not good enough, that we're not deserving of love. A lot of times shame is inherited too from ancestral karma. It's, not just ancestral karma, but collective karma. If your like family, God forbid, was on a plantation and they were conditioned to me to feel bad about themselves when they had nothing to feel bad about. It's a condition. Our environment creates our reality, and it creates our reality because we form behaviorisms and habits that are in alignment with, you know, our survival, having to survive in that type of environment. So shame is not all the time created because a person was bad, that they did something bad. They were seen as bad, and they were seen as bad because of other people's opinions, not because of truth. Again, the spirit part of self is the God part of self that's in every single living creature on the planet. And if it's here, it's not here by mistake. It's here by God's design, by the universe's design, that you have purpose. You didn't know what your purpose was. This person pushed you into finding your magic. This person, even though they hold a lot of shame, that's again because they're not even allowed to express their feelings. They have shame about what they feel. Again, having uh human needs and having feelings is important, like is how we're able to like really understand situations, and to be made felt bad that you feel something, and or you're emotional over something, and that you're inadequate. And I kind of feel like that's where you and this person have a spiritual connection. You're both highly sensitive people, and highly sensitive people do have gifts. They find their magic where they're, first of all, they have clairsentience, which when we have clairsentience over time, it turns into claircognizance, which is, I don't know how I knew that. I just knew. It's like that proverbial light bulb that just goes off. It's like, and that's the language of spirit. And so when you're a child and you're made to feel bad about yourself because there's dysfunction going on in the family environment where now you did something wrong, maybe it could be something as simple as you failed a spelling test, you spilt the glass of milk, you came in with dirt on your shoes, you were made to feel bad about yourself. When you grow up in an environment where you have parents that are angry all the time, and this is what I feel, that you and this person grew up in the same type of environment where you both were made to feel shame just for existing. And it was because you had parents that were raised that way. So that's ancestral karma. And for some of you, unfortunately, born into environments that were like, you don't belong. You're not going to do well. We don't want you to do well because of your color, your race, your gender, you're this, you're that. So again, segregation. That's really what brings shame. It's like, it's not that like, that's not an emotion that we just generate on our own. Oh, look, I feel shameful. It's like, no, we usually say, I can say, oh, I made a mistake. I feel bad about the mistake. But you're not going to shame yourself. In my opinion, shame always comes from people making you feel a certain way, and then you walking in alignment with that way. And when I say walking in the alignment with that way, when we feel bad, it doesn't feel good to feel bad about yourself. You got to do things to get the endorphins up. You got to do things to make yourself feel better because you're an energy being. This person drinks. They talk to other people. They talk to their ex. They make pretend that life is good, even though underneath it, it's all suppressed and repressed emotions of this person not really feeling adequate. And I feel like for you, it's that there were pieces missing. If you're in survival mode, you weren't creating yourself. If you were made to feel bad every day about yourself, you'd be afraid to even try as a child. And if you didn't try and you didn't go out and explore, remember in the Bible it says be like childlike, because children go out and they explore and they find what they like. They find what they're passionate about. Then they put the energy towards that. And that is what grows. And that's how we find our magic. And I feel like you both grew up the same way. This person actually pushed you into finding yourself, where I feel like they're spinning. Like, we're gonna pull and see, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do anything? But I wouldn't be surprised, listen, this person's not emotionally intelligent. Even if they come back, it's like, you're gonna get more of the same. It's not like this person's gonna all of a sudden become somebody different, unfortunately. It's like, and it doesn't mean that they don't have a connection, and that's what's sad. Because it's like, wow, we really do have a connection, but you fucked up. I can't be with you. It's like, because you make me feel bad about myself. You try to keep me in this energy of shame. That's why you came into my life. But guess what? I didn't stay in that place of shame. I found my magic. I found my magic. And that magic's going to create a whole other life for me. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Moving on, cycle complete. It's like, I feel like for you, what you're saying is, this is it. And this person knows this is it, that they have to do something. And again, they don't know. It's like they don't know. Full moon. It's like hidden from them, but it's saying it's almost like they know that you're their queen. And if they were gonna do something, it would unfold within 6 to 9 months, because they are not ready. They are not ready. They feel that you are moving on though. They're like, I feel like you're moving on, and that's why they have anxiety, because it's like, I don't know what to do with you. And I guess it would take 6 to 9 months for them to actually figure out how to approach you, and possibly because, and now that you don't have feelings for me, because it's been 6 to 9 months that I've been away, now I'm gonna come back into your life. Possibly because it seems like that's what this person feels a lot more comfortable doing. It's like almost like the relationship's over. I already broke it. Like, it's already ruined. So maybe again, if I come back in, I'm not gonna care as much. I don't know. It's again, yeah, like I feel like this person is gonna it's taking time to like really look at things from a new perspective, because you're forcing them to. Remember, they have anxiety. They weren't put in this position by themselves. You did it. And so it's like this person is just, they're getting a new perspective, okay? It's not like they're not. However, it's still going to take time for them to figure it out. And I'm assuming by then, by the time that comes back, you are just not going to be around. Yeah, you're going to not be interested. You're going to be not interested by the time that they come back around. It's going to be like, it's your problem. It's not my problem that you took so long to come back. It's not my problem. It's like you're not going to give them. And the irony is, that's how this feeling started. This person acted like they didn't give a shit, right? They acted like they didn't give a shit, all because to not act like, again, to be able to tap into their emotions, because they were shamed at one point and now they lose themselves. And this is a prime example of what we create in our childhood to help us survive in the environment. And psychological and emotional survival is just as important. Is that this person wasn't allowed to feel, they weren't allowed to express themselves, they weren't allowed to. So this relationship would be over the top for them, because again, I don't have any control and I don't know what to do with you. It's like, I don't, like I said, it makes them go deep within inside themselves. So it just is, again, brings them back to their childhood. So again, where they're being told, you can no longer navigate your life this way. You're going to get bad results. That's why they're in a not a good place, and they have anxiety, because they're like, and like, I don't know what to do about it. I'm excessively thinking about it, trying to figure it out, but I'm in my head. And the only way that, it would never work, because this person, the only thing that's up in their head is all their past failed experiences, with them navigating the relationship. So of course they're overstimulated because they actually have feelings. So they're just stuck in stupid. But by the time that they figure it out, well, first of all, by the time that they lay their pride and ego down and figure it out, it's like you're going to be long gone. So we ask the universe, what other energy can we pull into this? Like to bring our energy up just a little bit further. Is there anything that we should know about this? Where should we go from here? What is it? Listen to life. I am attentive to the world around me. Remember, it's your environment that creates your reality. I am attentive to the world around me. Signs and symbols guide me to success. Got to come from the higher self, the God part of self. And that's from your intuition. It's the inner knowing. It's the clairsentient that turns into the claircognizance. And that's the Holy Spirit that's inside of you that's able to recognize those signs and symbols. And everybody's signs and symbols are different because everyone's own psychic ability is different. But again, you did good here. You found your magic. So I listen and I discover the way to the eternal, and the eternal is just what? God, which is what? Unconditional love, energy of unconditional love that lives forever. That's what that is. You find your place, and you do that because you're being guided by the universe. This is a co-creation, and like life is actually co-creation with you and the divine through what you think, the emotions that you have, and then the actions that you take. And so again, I feel like this relationship was to help you clear shame. And it did because you integrated it by finding your magic. This person, like I said, they brought them to their healing too. Maybe not 100% healed, but definitely they're not going to be the same person now what after dealing with you, because they actually see that they lost something that they didn't really need to lose. They just, you know, played it wrong. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.